Okay, this is another episode of Double Dunn's Garage. I'm Dwight. This is my brother Mike.
Howdy.
And today we're going to do some work on the 305. We're going to start off by priming the oil pump. And then we're going to get the distributor in and maybe even the car put on.
Okay.
Take us away, Mike.
So, first off, how we prime our oil pump and why we do it is because on brand new engines, we have to get all the oil up into the valve, into the valves, into the cam specifically, and all through the engine. So when you start the engine up, it doesn't run dry and rim bearings and ruin the cam and you name it. There's so many components in there that need the oil. You put assembly lube on it, obviously, before you even build the engine, but you need to have the oil pressure because that'll wear really quick. So, to start off, how we do this. On small block Chevys specifically, and big block Chevys, distributor is driven by, distributor drives the oil pump. And distributor is driven by the cam. So the cam drives this, and then distributor drives the oil pump. So usually on small block Chevys and big block Chevys, well, on small block Chevys and big block Chevys, the distributor's in the back. Mm-hmm. And you have to pull the distributor in order to prime the pump. And in turn, what we do, how do we prime it, is by using a specific tool that's about $20.
Yep.
And you put it on the end of a drill.
It's got like a little flat screwdriver thing in there, a little bit similar to the main shaft of the distributor.
Yep. And then you put it in the middle, pull the distributor out, put it in the pump or in the block, and then you crank it. So
if you don't do this before, man, it'll take a new engine and just ruin it.
And it's kind of tricky. You have to get it on there just right. It's not exactly easy to get it on it. Feels like I'm not on there. Ah, I got on there. Okay, so I'm going to spin this over. You don't have to go too quick. Okay, and then I'm going to crank the engine over. Why am I turning the engine? Because bearings have little holes in them, and the rods and the crank have little holes in them. And if you turn it over a couple times, then that oil will be able to splatter a few times in different spots.
Okay.
So. Okay, so I've done this already. It really feels like it's got a lot of oil pressure. I'm not going to go crazy on this, okay? Let's do... Okay, so I really think that feels good. I can feel when the oil is on the distributor, on the inside the oil pump, it gets tougher. And that means it's sucking oil in there. Also, pulled out, got oil all over our thing, which is fine. That's exactly what we want. Usually, when we have oil pressure, I would take this off and you'd see it just spurt right out the top. Yeah. We don't want to do that. They make a mess. Okay.
Garage is enough mess as it is.
Yes, I agree. But we notice we have oil. If there was no oil pressure, you wouldn't have that all over that thing. Okay? So, put this in a safe area. Safe area. Safe area. Okay, maybe not safe.
Safe area, my ass.
I did mention safe area, didn't I? I think it was safe, yeah. Hey, the crowbar's safe on the ground.
Yeah. Garage is such a flipping mess.
All right. Next up, we got our engine primed with oil. Second, we're going to set the distributor on top dead center number 1. Well, how do we do that? If you're watching this, you probably kind of know how where number 1 cylinder is on small block Chevy. It's in the front on this side over here. It goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. And the distributor runs in a clockwise fashion. Mm-hmm. How do we know that? Easiest way to know is that our vacuum advance pulls against the distributor. So as this is turning, the distributor, the weights inside here, and again pulled out, and this pulls them out. And as the engine speeds up, it pulls them out farther, advances the timing, so the engine can rev quicker. Learned that from somebody on YouTube. Okay. I didn't know that. I just kind of, knowing which way the distributor turned really didn't matter in the past. You could see it on the engine, on the intake, stuff like that. It's not that important. Anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, how do we find top dead center? We're going to, first of all, you pull out the number 1 spark plug, which is on the side here. Mm-hmm. And we crank the engine over till we feel compression in our finger. Mm-hmm. All right?
Okay.
So, let's do that. Right here is number 1 spark plug. The thing turns over so quickly. There we go.
Sounds like it. Heard it.
Felt compression. All right. Now, this distributor can be put in anywhere you want. I'm going to set it for the factory because it's kind of tied up against the firewall. I like to set stuff up, the engine up at the factory anyway. So, factory is going to be, let's see how I do this. Anyway, factory is going to be front number 1 right here. So it's going to be pointing basically towards number 1.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Pretty much.
You got your gasket on there? Or that one doesn't?
This one, I don't think I have a gasket for it. Probably should get one. I don't know if I have it available. I can, if you remind me to do that, probably a great idea.
Distributor gasket.
Distributor gasket. Everybody on YouTube, distributor gasket. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Maybe there's one on the old distributor. Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't cost too much to get one.
True. Now this might be a little tough. It's because we moved the oil pump a few times. So, and what that means is that the oil pump might not be lined up with the distributor. Where did I put the distributor prime shaft? Should be over there. Thank you. Reality, guys.
Getting hungry.
Giving us some nice patient.
Getting hungry.
That's giving us some nice music over there.
Oh, please.
We're doing this. Yeah, we'll go in a little bit.
Yeah, and guys, remember, hit that like button and subscribe, okay? We need to hit that 100 mark. 100 subscriber marks. We're at 85 now.
Yep.
And remember, when we get closer, we're gonna do a live hit. When we get close to that 100 mark, we're gonna do a live video of the break-in of this thing. And we're going to give away three sets of new tools.
Yes. Tools.
So.
Tools. Tools. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Let's just not go there. I can literally hear the oil pump slushing. It goes. I think I got it. Let's have a look at the cap real quick, see if it's close enough.
Well, holy dickens.
Yeah. Wow. That was forever, literally. I know. Did you guys get older? Did you grow older?
Yeah, probably I think we all did.
Put the distributor cap on.
God.
Make sure all your little tangs are out.
Chevy distributor caps.
I know.
Jeez.
Give it a pain in the ass. That's why I like Mopar and Ford, some Ford. They just have little clips. They just drop distributor on, and they have little clips. There we go. Now, okay, so we can see that the number one is sitting right about right where this. Let's see if we can line it up. Right about there is where the number one is sitting. And so servers can sit about like that. Pretty normal. Okay? That is about right. That's about top to the center.
Yep.
Screwdriver.
Where do you have it off? Just put it back?
Probably. Well, we have an entire place full of tools. No screwdriver.
Can't find out what the hell we're looking for.
Yeah. Screwdriver.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
We don't have any specific brand tools. We got Max, Snap-on, Craftsman, Harbor Freight, Cornwell, Stanley, cheap Chinese garbage, Mac. You name it, we got it.
We tried to stay away from the Chinese garbage. But honestly, some of it is cheap and some of it works.
Yeah.
We got Husky.
Yeah, we got Husky and Napa tools and stuff for O'Reilly's Auto and everything.
Yeah. What in the world? Okay, there we go. Retarded. As you can see, I am pushing down on these all the way down, and you see those little rods.
Yeah, those little things are right there.
And push down on it, see if we can get those plug wires out of the way. See that? You push down on it far enough, and it's going to let that little rod, and there's springs inside those. There's springs inside those, and then you squish it down and use I prefer a flathead, and you turn it until it gets underneath the distributor and hooks
and it locks it into place. Yep. Let's go wipe down again.
Okay, and then there's a plug that goes on the distributor, from distributor to the distributor cap, and it pretty much just goes one way. Not just like that.
Okay.
And then there's one wire. This is a one-wire hookup that goes from your accessory on your ignition to power, to positive.
Mm-hmm.
And it fires this entire system.
Okay. Here's your distributor lockdown. Whoa! Don't drop that down that intake.
Yeah, guys, we do that. We should have something to cover that up. We do that, and we're gonna, if we can't fish it out, we're gonna pull the engine apart. So let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and this is distributor hold down, aftermarket junk. But whatever, it works. I think it's even upside down. But that's the only way I got it to work on this. And I think that's a 9/16. I got
Oh, no,
one
that's
here.
plugs. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 5/8, ½ inch. Really, there's 2 ½ inches there.
Michael's looking in the top of the box for wrenches, and over there is a set of wrenches. 2.
Is there? Is
Yes,
there
behind you on that yellow cabinet, right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was looking at your really pretty Mac tool set. I was going to show him. Going to show him a beautiful set of Mac tools, but if you don't want that, that's all right. This video is going to be like forever long. People are going to get tired.
Yeah, it's 14 minutes now. 15 minutes now.
All right,
No, 17 minutes. Sorry, 17 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's about typical for our videos. Alright, I'm just going to kind of snug that down. Alright, well it's not timed.
Hell was that?
I don't know. Scared.
Damn undead are gonna come walking in the garage. And remember, folks, the undead show up. You use claw hammers when you're in the garage. Headshots.
Alright. Okay, next we're going to do the carburetor.
Ooh, Edelbrock time.
Pretty beautiful stuff. Okay, our carburetor is a spacer on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the actual carburetor right behind it. Freshly built 650 electric choke, Edelbrock. And then we have carburetor studs.
Studs.
Studs. Studs.
Studs.
You said studs. What in the heck is wrong with half of these? Dude. Like the threads are screwed up. So stupid. Guess I probably should have got a fresh kit. Like 4 different bolts. But all the studs are the same. Here, give me a second to get this off here. Right, well, gotta be careful here because we don't want to damage the threads. So there's a small empty space right there where there's no threads. I'm going to put that in the vise. You do not want to damage the threads while you're doing this. I believe this is ½ inch. I believe.
Ooh, look at that pretty wind. Look at that pretty wind drill press. That thing works awesome too. I enjoyed
That was a good buy. It works good.
And let me say, sitting right over there behind those tires in that pile, there is a 12-ton shop press, a parts washer, and a sandblast cabinet that has to go together yet. But, does it look like we have room in this shop? No!
No, we don't. Wow, that was, damaged threads.
Uh-oh.
But hey, that's alright. We spun it off there. That's all that's important. Yeah, there's damaged threads there. All right, so we got to put the studs in.
Studs.
And looks like everything's double. So I'm going to put, I always usually put my studs on the outer setup just because it's easier to access them. You want these studs to go down to the bottom so they hit and stop. And this intake has been cleaned out and re-tapped and all that. So as you can see, everything goes in perfectly smooth. This engine, I don't know if I've ever told you about it. What it's got in it. What specifically got in it.
Describe to us what you put in this baby.
This is a 305 cubic inch small block Chevy. Yes, very tiny, whatever.
Yeah.
Haters be haters. Bored out 30 thousandths over, so it becomes a 312. Flat top. Cast pistons. Gear drive. Really big cam. Very fat cam, 220. 224 duration at 50 thousandths. And 512 left.
Bitch is going to lope.
It's going to look like holy hell. Yeah. Obviously, Edelbrock intake. Intake's nothing special. Performer RPM. HEI, good HEI. Billet distributor. It's going to have headers. It has headers, and it also has a small mini starter. I'm sorry, mini starter. And that's why it sounds like a foreign car.
And it's got a set of fancy aftermarket chrome headers to go in this one.
Yeah, the headers that are on the truck right now are going to go in on the engine. All right, so we got all our studs down.
Okay.
Next, we're going to drop our gasket in place. Now, yeah, these gaskets aren't specifically meant for this, but it'll work. It's all right.
Gasket.
Wonder if I can use this gasket instead. It's a little wider on the bottom. I am going to use a gasket instead. What I'm running into is why I'm changing gaskets. When I put this one on, you can see that. See, we have a little bit of space here, a little bit of space here. Not a big deal, but you know that could be a leak. So if we put a wider gasket on there, it's going to cover up the spaces.
Yeah.
Okay? And then our polished on both sides, our little adapter, square bore adapter goes on. And that supports that area. And you want to make sure that there's no binding. By moving the studs a little bit, you can feel the tension in them. Another gasket. And you might need to pull your studs up ever so slightly. I think I will have to do that by unloosening them a little bit. Why? Because then you have a carburetor stuck on top too. Alright, let's get to grab our carburetor for us.
And give us a good look at this bad boy.
Alright, so I rebuilt this myself. I rebuilt many of these. We have electric choke on the side. We have a custom specific thing for these type of carburetors, Carter FBs and Edelbrocks, where it drops the fuel line down and out the front. And then I have it already set up here where it goes right into it. I put a bolt in there so it wouldn't get contaminated.
Yeah.
You can see there's plugs all over the place. It says Edelbrock on it. Who cares? But, you know, good carburetor. I did a really professional job at
I need a choke in my
building.
I need a choke in my carb.
Yep.
Ooh, those are a little short.
Yeah. We have a small problem.
Okay.
Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Then. That is going away.
Is it going to work with?
It will go. It will work with that.
Without that one.
Yeah. This intake is designed specifically for this.
You can buy studs, the longer studs.
But now we run into possibly too long of a stud. So.
Ooh, wow.
Wow. Those are so long.
Yeah.
Not impossible, not a big deal, but I wonder if that is why there's another kit here. I had headers, crank pulleys. These are all the extra bolts to the engine. Clutch. Maybe in here. There is a possibility why things are a little different. This engine. Somebody's got to do some explaining to do, Lucy. I wonder why those bolts are not used anymore. Weird. Maybe. This looks so tight. This looks so big. Let's try it. Just gently put it over to the side. Want to be careful with the gasket. Change of plans as we are working. No.
No?
No. Definitely not. Well, guys, we might just end this video because I'm going to have to find that stuff.
Might have to go pick up some new studs.
Yeah. Shorter studs.
And here it is after 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. We got hungry people. Him specifically. All right. So.
Well.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, but you saw us do work.
Yep.
And I honestly like watching videos where people are physically doing stuff.
Yep. I'm
not
getting
going
there.
to delete out the fact that I ran into an issue. Hey, you know.
Yeah. It's getting there. It's getting there. But like I said, it's getting closer to being ready, and when it does, then we're going to set a date for live streaming of us cranking this baby up and seeing if it runs or
Question mark.
if it grenades itself. Okay,
we'll film it. We'll film it. Do a live video of it.
Yep.
All right. Well,
but remember, hit the like button and comment, please. And if you know anybody, give them a subscribe, because as soon as closer we get to the 100 subscribers, we got fired
up and running or destroyed.
Fired up and running or destroyed, and we're going to be giving away 3 tool sets. We don't know exactly what type we're going to get yet, but we're working on that. So
give us an idea of how to do.
Yeah, give us an idea of what's going on and what do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
give us input. All right, for Double Duns Garage, this is Michael.
I'm Dwight. Talk to you later.